Okay, I'm gonna test this out, and we'll see if this works. So let me get this set up a minute, and let's see if I can have people join as I post this. Don't worry, as I'm going through all these steps. Hopefully this works. This is all new to me. I have not done any live streaming. I've done lots of live streaming on Facebook, just not on this this platform called YouTube. Okay, let's see if this works. I'm going to throw the live stream link into the comments and see if we can get anybody to join. Who knows? Who knows if this will work, but let me see here. I am going to just send a message to Jennifer so that she can kind of follow along. And then we'll see if anybody joins. It could be just me and, I don't know, nobody else. So let's just see what happens here. Right now, I'm just live streaming from my house. I'm sharing my desktop. So you can kind of see the homepage to Whatcom County weather. I've tried to work out a bunch of bugs. I have no idea if the sound is actually working. It says I'm live currently. You can ignore test number 5. We'll see if anybody will let me know that this is working. There's a supposed chat going here, so I don't know. Maybe somebody will show up in the chat and tell me something. Yeah, I got a lot to learn on this. So I have no idea what some of this is. Okay, maybe my first follower is on here. Okay, I do not know what I'm doing, but don't worry. Let's see. So that means, can you hear me? I guess that's probably the first thing I need to find out. I tried to set this sound up. Let me see. Okay, I can see the chat, so can you all? And that's fine. This is just a test. Okay, Colby says I sound great. Okay, so let's see if others can follow. I honestly don't know how this is all going to work out. And I don't really know how to play around with the stats on all of this. But I can watch the chat here, although I can't do that. I would have to do that over here. Okay, we got somebody else. Okay, Deanna. Okay, let's just go ahead and see how this works. And this is just a test. You're going to have to be patient. I'm just going to kind of go through a couple of things that, nothing earth-shattering tonight here. Just kind of a rain frontal system, and I just want to test this out, see if I can get a few people to follow me, maybe a few more to join the live stream. One of the reasons you see everybody switching to YouTube is because Facebook has set up any live streams are deleted after 30 days. And so while I still want to live stream on Facebook, and I'm working on being able to live stream Facebook and YouTube at the same time, I will lose the Facebook one, but I would keep the YouTube one. When I'm out chasing the storm, I'm probably going to lean towards YouTube eventually, because my Facebook live streams are going to be deleted. So that's kind of why I'm playing with this. I haven't figured out a way yet to live stream both of them on the road without having two phones or two ways, two separate phone lines. But there is a way to live stream from my office doing these updates on both platforms. So I'm working that out. I had it all set up a few weeks ago, and then my hard drive crashed when I went up to Whistler. And when I brought the hard drive back, got a new one. It's faster. It's more space. I lost all my settings for the program. For some reason, I didn't back those up. I had most everything backed up, got everything back, so didn't really lose much of anything, except that was one thing I did. So anyway, it sounds like, let's see, just kind of make sure this is working. Okay, so if you like the or thumbs up or whatever they're called on YouTube, if you do that, that's going to help spread the word on the channel. We need subscribers. That's how we're going to grow here. We're not ditching the Facebook for our updates and posts and all that. We're still going to do that. But when it comes to live streaming, I'm not sure I can do daily live streams just because of my schedule currently. But eventually, as a lot of these weather people around here are doing, that's how they're going about it, and they're doing daily briefings and all of that. But I have some ideas of things we can do along the way. So I'm just going to test this out, give you a weather update. Yellow is a little bit stronger, heavier rain. Orange is even stronger. Greens, lighter green is kind of, more light rain. And so you can see currently using the half moon peak radar up off of Vancouver Island here, because it's actually the best one to see the western Whatcom County. You can see the rain, and we can run the radar of kind of what's gone on the last little while, but we got pretty good amount of rain coming right through from Birch Bay all the way into Linden here, up in the foothills as well. You can see up there kind of the Peaceful Valley just kind of went east or northeast. This radar is getting blocked by some mountains, or just the way the radar is set up, so it kind of ends right here. But you can kind of see what it's doing. Wind-wise, everybody has switched over to south wind here, it looks like. So we had a lot of northeast flow, but we've got black is the temperatures here. Red is we've got some 20 mile an hour, 30 mile an hour gusts here at Pole and Guide. Upper 20s so it's pretty gusty out there. Sumas is turned over finally. Doesn't look like we have a whole ton of reporting here for wind, but some of these stations might not be picking them up very well, and we have a big gap on some of these areas. So temps are in the 50s, upper 40s, 50s, kind of here. That's 3,000 foot up here is Sumas Mountain, so that's why it's colder. But it probably feels a little warmer than it did out in the outflow earlier today when it was the northeast wind. But we do see that southerly flow, which means we are under doesn't mean we're under a wind advisory, but we are under a wind advisory in western Whatcom County here from I think it was 5 p.m. today until midnight tonight, or 2 p.m. to midnight, with gusts up to 45. And they basically did San Juan, Whatcom County, Island County, and looks like a little bit of Port Townsend area. So anyway, that's kind of what we're looking at here for tonight. So a fair amount of rain, kind of a quarter to a half inch, depending on location, is kind of what I said. And I wrote that up on the post tonight, or earlier today. And you can kind of see that here. I wrote up the amount of rain. I think it was right here. So about 6 o'clock tonight, how much what I thought when I had the radar coming. The rain hadn't really touched down except prefrontal showers earlier today, but the rain was kind of over Vancouver Island and coming into Vancouver. But now, 3 hours later, it's with us as it pushes kind of east-northeast. It may overdo half inch in some places. Foothills probably will get a little extra. So that's tonight's frontal system. Most of it will be done by the morning hours, unless, if you're staying up all night, you'll hear it. But otherwise, it'll probably turn to showers tomorrow morning. And then we go nice for kind of part of tomorrow into Thursday. So I'm still learning how to do all of this. I'm used to the other setup here, so I don't have all my stuff set up. But we are going to be kind of have a ridge set up, and again, I would show you that normally, but Thursday will be partly sunny, and tomorrow's going to dry out as the day goes on. Still be some breezy southerly winds tomorrow throughout at least the AM hours, maybe into a little bit of the PM hours. Friday, we got a big system coming, it looks like, and that could be a pretty good maker. Rain of, I don't know, inch to 2 inches. It's kind of interesting seeing some of the ensembles looking at that. And so my goal with this YouTube live stream is to help explain some of this. We are pretty hyper local when it comes to the weather here. Most of the other Facebook weather pages are the Northwest or the Washington State or Western Washington or big area, and we'll talk about the Pacific Northwest weather along the way, but we're pretty well zeroed in on Whatcom County for the most part. So, and we'll talk some about Skagit and Snohomish at times and South BC, but that's where I'm focused most of the time. So we'll continue to look at, Bellingham Airport as the big station that we want to look at. And, with an inch or two potential rain coming, that's going to pull us. I was looking at this earlier. It's going to pull us closer to normal. If we get a half an inch at Bellingham, not sure we'll get a half an inch tonight out of this for the airport. But we are at 2.75 inches for the month. I believe 3.8 is the average. For some reason, these new charts don't give us the average anymore. I can look at the old October of 24 and we'll find that. But we're just under an inch. A couple of weeks ago, we were like, it was like, and now all of a sudden, here we go. And if we get a half an inch, that's going to put us only about a half an inch away. And then we've got on Halloween night, now that will go into November 1st. If we can get another half inch on Friday, so to speak, we will hit about normal. And that's going to, drag us closer to the year-to-date normal. And November looks like it could open rainy, or at least off and on rain coming. So it's interesting in the year-to-date charts how fast you can make that up. So, and I'll just pull this up here. I'm going to pull the graph for accumulation for the, not Baltimore. I'm going to, hold on, let me change this to Seattle. And then I'm going to look at the airport here, Bellingham. And let's look at the accumulation graph year-to-date. So year-to-date right now, as of yesterday, is now about, it's still about a little under 4 inches, if my math is right there. So we're still very dry for the whole year. But because October is one of the rainiest months, October, November, I think are the two rainiest months. But, if we get an inch and a half in an inch in this last few days, that's going to, we'll be back down, we could be closer to like 3 inches. So while we're very dry, especially since, April, May, we had a really good stretch there in March and April that got us back. We were started out dry and then caught back up, and then you can see what's happened here. Red is normal and green is our line for the year. So you can see it's kind of going up. And so that'll, this only goes up a little bit each day, but if you get a half an inch or an inch in a day, that's really going to cut this gap down. So it'll be interesting to see that. We're under 4 inches. The other day when I posted about a week or so ago, we were about 4 inches. So we've made up a bit, but we could make up a bit more the next couple of days, or tonight and Friday's storm. So anyway, I don't know how this is going to go down or how this is going to work, and if I'm going to get any traction on this page, but we will see. I will be able to entertain questions. We got a couple people here. Nice thing about YouTube, if you have premium, you can minimize YouTube and do other things in the background. Okay, that's excellent. Yeah, I'm not as expert on YouTube, but I'm going to have to become one quickly. So it's just because Facebook is limiting some of this stuff, or causing some issues, let's just say that, with our live streams. I would like to be able to do them simultaneously. So what I'm going to work on next is setting up the Facebook live stream simultaneously to YouTube, so then I can run both of them at least from home, and then we'll go from there. If I'm able to do it out in the field, so to speak, we'll figure that out. I've also got to fix my back screen here. It's a bunch of clutter. Hi, how are you doing? I got to fix the clutter on my office. It's kind of a mess, just because it's kind of crazy. Yes, and I do know OBS has a multi-stream option. I had it all set up and lost it when my hard drive crashed a couple weeks ago. I got most everything back, but for some reason I didn't back that up into the cloud. So it was kind of something I had just done like the week before it crashed and messed that up. But I'm going to, maybe somebody can help me out, but I think I figured it out. I just got to get it reset up. But I want to make this background here when I'm live streaming not my cluttered mess. I'm working on setting up one of my pictures. I have no idea what this is going to do. I had a picture. I think I can drag it up here, and that maybe you can see that picture that I took today. But then that takes over the desktop. But I want to. There is a way. I was just watching a YouTube clip about how to set this up back here, so I got to work on that. Otherwise, I got to clean up my mess. So. I froze. Okay, so that's not good. Not sure why I froze. Is anybody else having that problem? I don't probably have too many people on here, but I guess you can let me know in the comments. Hit like or thumbs up. Subscribe. All the same old stuff that we have to do to get any traction in the social media world, which is kind of crazy at times, as we all know. So... but this gives me another option because of Facebook Live. Okay, it's glitching out. It's probably because my son is watching some movie or something. Okay, I'll have to work on the glitches, so I'm not sure what that's all about, but I do have a few settings I played with, so I may have to fix a couple of those settings. So, okay, I'm going to end this live stream. Thank you for the followers that showed up tonight, and maybe more people can follow as well. I just procured my Whatcom County weather logo, so I'm going to use that on some things as well. That's going to pop up. Okay, froze on my screen when you were clicking on the photo. Oh, okay. That I know. Okay, but is it good now? That photo, I think I know what I did. I probably put it in front of everything, and then that caused it went over top of everything else. Is my sound pretty good now? Okay. Could be my graphics card, which I was just updating right before I went live. I got a lot to learn, I guess. So, turn it to auto. It froze only a second ago. Okay. So, wonder if it was when I played with that picture. So, I may need some help. Okay, sounds good. Okay. And I've got a really good microphone, a Yeti microphone. So, let me just see how this goes, everyone. I really want to kind of come back and build this community back up. We obviously the summer, it was a difficult summer for myself, just with a lot of things going on in my life, and needed a break. Jennifer and Sean ran the page for a lot of the summer for me, but I'm back here and ready to go for the fall and winter. And trying this YouTube option because of Facebook is deleting my Facebook Lives after 30 days. So, okay, that's good to know. Oh, good to know. And I'm watching the chat at the same time. You guys can probably see the chat. So, okay. Thank you for those who came on tonight. And if there's others that watch this later, if you could like it and subscribe and whatever you need to do, that would be great. And then we'll see how often I can do these. I'm kind of long-winded, so I'm like, how can I do these in like 10 minutes or less? And it's like, So, okay, sound has been good. But if others join in, if you hear glitches or see issues or, I mean, I'm assuming you can see my screen and this radar refreshing, okay? And you can see the accumulated precip map here that we looked at for Bellingham Airport, and we were looking at, red is wind gusts. We got, south wind gusts here we're looking at, and the temperatures are the black numbers, which are in the 50, about 50, a little cooler. Where the south wind maybe hasn't picked up as hard or as strong, but we're going to, again, have that south wind probably into tomorrow, but the wind advisories, whether it gets extended or not, I don't know, but until midnight, it's kind of with the front that's coming through, which you can see is pretty strong for our area to have this amount of yellow and some orange in there. That's, decent rain. There was actually some thunderstorms up in the mountains north of Vancouver, or Golden Ears area, maybe I should say, earlier tonight. So, and actually, once I get this radar scope set up, I've got the premium edition, and there is some amazing stuff that can be done on this, but that's enough for tonight. Okay, thank you everyone for coming along on the test, and we'll talk to you soon, hopefully again. Have a great night.